I know specifically that it is not just satanic panic and they're actually practicing witchcraft is because I myself served in the military as a witch. Like, I don't know how else to put that.
And this is exactly why I never argue with people in the comments when I talk about this stuff. Because I will literally say witches, psychics, all of them work with the military. She was actually in the Navy. She also put out a video, which is deleted now, about when she joined, she started to receive messages telepathically that gave her instructions about a new program where she was able to serve as a witch, because the only people who could hear the message were other people who were gifted. They created synthetic telepathy, which is something I've posted about on this page. I showed you a document from a whistleblower about this. And she also confirmed something else that I told you, that a lot of us psychic people, a lot of us who are tapped into the energies at one point in our lives want to work for the government or go to the military because of that telepathic message. We hear that. And what was interesting about that video I posted, the comments were split. It was either between veterans or people who were close to veterans that knew exactly what I was talking about and was agreeing with me, or it was the average person who has no idea what I'm talking about and thought I was being crazy. And this is why I say, your reality is based on your experiences and your perception. That does not mean that is the only reality in this world. There are multiple timelines for people who can do different things. And sometimes...
So first and foremost, a lot of this is accurate. And I want to say, I am not a witch. I am a person who can see things and predict things. I was in the Navy. Now, I was undesignated, as in an undesignated seaman. Those are people who paint the side of the ship. I never went to the deck department. I went straight to HR, and then I got reassigned to a duty station that many people relatively don't get at all. I'm not going to say what it was because there was a lot of static and blowback I got, as far as, because I still ran into people I did work with and they were just like, how did she even... There's a movie called Starship Troopers. There was a guy, he was a psychic. There was not many people a part of his class, but as you can see, the infantry people, they outnumbered the people who were psychic. So you work in a small cluster within the job, and the people I worked with, rank and file and all that stuff, wasn't even a part of said job. So it wasn't, well, ma'am, this, that, all that was just out the door, because it was about what you possessed, so to speak. If you were a part of this, you know, and if you weren't, then you don't know. But I definitely stood out, and I did not do any of the things, because I see the military as a bit of a psyop to keep people in cycles. So I didn't do any have a vice like drinking or illicit things or debauchery. And I wasn't into the Holy Ghosting thing, because a lot of those people were into debauchery. Also, I don't just see things. There are other things to this, but like I said, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But a lot of this is true. The government has been known to hire and recruit psychics. And the people I worked with, many of them were in the military, but they didn't even go through boot camp. So a lot of people were like, how do people get in the military, get officer positions without going to boot camp? A lot of people do. It's not the same. It's like facets within facets. It's like jobs within jobs and places within spaces and stuff like that. And being that I saw both, I know how tumultuous and how absolutely rancid the regular military is and the leadership, and how wow. So when I got to where I was supposed to be, it was like I had to come down from all the trauma that I literally survived. One more nuance to this is I signed a contract in documentation when I got out that if I ever wrote a book, that approximately 20 to 30% would go to the government. And I have only met on this one hand, I can count how many people I've met who had that same contract in the military. And it wasn't just, oh, I did intel. It's a different group. So when people say, oh, I was an intel or I did this, it's like there are so many levels to this that I realized. And honestly, I have nothing to say about it because I just don't. It's one of those, if they're looking for me, they'll find me. If they want me to show up for something, they'll come get me, to be honest. I don't have a reason to talk about anything or to promote anything or, how do you say, expose anything, because what? I don't see people doing anything with information. They sit on it, they shock, they have fake shock, and I see no point. It is what it is. And honestly, I don't have anything to say. So when people say, oh, I want to know about this and that, I don't need to compare any more notes. We didn't all have the same job. We weren't all in the same spaces and places. We didn't all do the same things. And when you realize that, it can cause dissension because it's not based on rank. And they give you the ASVAB, but they found out that a lot of us who are very gifted are not great at testing, because the lighting, the this, the that, and the ones that are, those are the ones that go in just for the regular jobs.